Okay, so what we're starting with now is square roots. Okay, so when we have a square root, the answer to that, so the answer to a square root is a number that when you multiply it by itself will give the original number. So a number that when multiplied by itself will give the original number. Okay, that was a lot of writing. So, for example, if we have the square root of 25, that means we think of a number that multiplies by itself to give 25, which is 5. And the reason is 5 times 5 is equal to 25. Okay, that's very nice, all well and good. But sometimes we don't have something as clear as that. Okay, so for example, if I asked you to find what the square root of 5 is, what does that mean? Okay, how do we come up with that number that multiplies by itself to give 5? All right, now in practical in practical use, what we actually have is, that was easier than I expected. In practical use, what we actually have is a square. So a square like this, and with that square, the area is 5. Okay, so if we have a square with an area of 5, then what are the lengths of its sides? Okay, the length of this side is the square root of 5. Okay, the length of this side is also the square root of 5. So this is what the square root means in practical terms. All right, you guys obviously can't calculate this yourself. So what you're going to do in order to do this is use your calculator. Now I have a calculator here on my computer. It will be slightly different on yours because this is a very new model. Some of you have this calculator, some of you don't. But if you want to calculate the square root of 5, you just hit, you can see here the nice square root button. All right, put a 5 in, press equals. Now you can see on this version of the calculator here, I get square root of 5. Okay, that's not very helpful. For most of you, you will actually get a decimal here. If you have this calculator and you want this as a decimal, you need to press this button here, this S to D button. Okay, S means third, and this means square roots or fractions. Okay, and D is a decimal. So we press that button and we get that the square root of 5 is equal to 2.23. And this is not an exact number, we're rounding it, so we should actually use our wavy equal signs. So it's approximately equal to 2.2, and we would say 3, except that the next number is a 6, so that rounds up to becoming 2.24. Okay, so the square root of 5 is approximately 2.24. All right, this is what we want you to be able to do at the moment. If we took the square root of 2, that means that we're looking for the length of the side of a square that has an area of 2. So that's approximately equal to, let's type it in on our calculator, square root of 2 equals 1.41. And you can see we don't normally round here because we don't round up, we round down. So 1.41 stays as 1.41. Now, normally in most cases, we will get you to round to 2 decimal places. Okay, the only exception for that is if we tell you otherwise. Okay, so if we say round to a different decimal, then that's fine, but normally it will be to 2 decimal places. If we don't specify, that's what we expect. Okay, so this is doing square roots on your calculator. As I said, your calculator will be slightly different to this one, but it should be fairly similar.